Wow, let's start it over now. Okay, great. All right, so anyway, back to where we were left off. I'll have to splice this in later somehow. But basically what I'm doing here is I am attaching a piece of Velcro to the bottom of this case so that it will hold the cue in place and hold the interior in place, and we're improving the interior on this 3 seconds case. So here we go. All right, and I'm using the pick here as a way to make a hole. Because what I'm doing is, for the quick version of this, I am putting nails in this so that it will hold this down. I should make a cardboard guide for this, but I'm not going to. And there we go. When this is done, I'll show you all these pictures here are going to be, all these nails are going to be below the surface, so they're not going to hurt anything. No chance to hurt the cue. That's not what we want. We want to make the case better for cues, not worse for cues. So that is our goal right now. Once it gets going, it's really good. All right, we got one more nail to put in here. And I may go ahead and do one more after that, just to be on the safe side. So when we're done with this, nothing will get through this. So it's the cue is not going to touch these nails at all. The cue won't be touching these nails whatsoever. So, and you'll see that in a moment. So, this is now what this looks like as I take this off, take the tape off. The tape was just there to hold it on, to keep it from moving. So now you'll notice that this is a nicer, neater appearance right here. And the Velcro is now glued and nailed on. And you'll notice that the nails are below the surface here. So when this touches, basically, here's what's going to happen. This will now contact the bottom here and keep it down, essentially. So you'll see here, as I pull that out, the Velcro would attach right there. And then let me see if I can pull this out here and show you. The Velcro attaches and it basically holds it down. So it doesn't need to make a super strong attachment, but it makes it strong enough where it'll stop it from moving. And there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this part and re-roll it back over, because now we've got this in place right here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and attach it at the top though first and get that situated, since we've got it where we want it. So all I've done is pull this down enough to where I can get a good grip on it right here. And what I want to do here now is I want to take the tape and wrap it around just so I can have a line to cut on. So I'm going to wrap this like this, just so I can have a line, a loose line, to cut this bottom. So this is what this looks like. Okay, we'll put a little bit of a crimp right here. Fold that over so we can get it back off later. And the same thing applies here. Always tab your tape so you can get it back to it. So now you'll see what I did is I cut that right there. So, and again, keep in mind that all I'm doing here is I'm modifying an existing interior. When we make these, especially for the case, then they will come pre-ready for you. You won't have to do some of these steps on here. They'll already come and be ready to go. But all I want to do here is just have a nice, neat appearance right around the edges here. And then we're going to tape this down really well. Okay? So right there you can see what I did. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this top piece off that we just put on. Find that little bit that I crimped right there. There it is. Okay, now we'll just take that off. Now we're going to take our tape and we're going to go in seriously and come around. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut off this little bit on the tab here. So we're starting with a fresh piece all the way around. Here we go. Now you want to tape this about half on and half off, right about like this. See what I have there? Now you want to really kind of torque it a little bit, okay? You want to pull this in and stretch it, really stretch it, okay? Get some pressure in there. And make sure you're half on and half off. And there you go. And that'll be enough to hold it and keep it on at that point. And this is what it looks like when you're done. So it's nicely stretched right around there. So now what we have is, we have it like this. The Velcro will hold it at the bottom, right? And then what will happen is, the cues will go in and out easily and will be no problem, hopefully. All right, so finishing up here, let's take this. Now we're going to roll this back up on here. We're going to roll it up over the top. First, we're going to pull it up a little bit. You got to pull it all back up. Get rid of the slack. Okay, I like to hold that between my knees and kind of get it up there. Now, because there's double face tape on here, you might have to kind of pull and roll at the same time. Okay. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm just pulling it up, pulling it and rolling it at the same time. Now, normally it would be better for me if I would take the double face tape off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little trick here. Instead of taking the double face tape off, because it's going to be too much of a problem here to get it to position right because of the tension between the tape and the part. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling it past the double-faced tape right there, and instead of trying to just go in and take all this off, which will take a little while, what I'm going to do is just cover it up. So I'm going to take the tape, and all I'm going to do is just wrap it around one time and basically make it tape to tape on here. Okay? And that'll allow me to get that back up and over the way I want it. Okay, and that's all we need to do right there. Let's go ahead and cut that piece off. Alrighty. Now, let's go ahead and wrap this back up and get it all the way up. See how nicely that comes up now? So now you can see what we have here is we have lots of room here, so now we can pull it down and get it situated exactly where it was before. So now I recommend that you get yourself some double-faced tape a little bit, okay? And what you're gonna do here is pull it back down. Now we got good movement. And here I have some double-faced tape, so let's go ahead and put one bead around there for that. And this is basically an approximation of how they did their case. Now we're quickly going to get this going all the way around. Okay, now I'll just peel off this. So now we have a bead of double-faced tape around the edges right there. And with that, we can then now pull it up. So what I want to do now is, before I put that together down at the bottom, I want to pull this back up over the top because I want to get this to approximate where it was. So in order to do that, I want to come up here and close it so that it wraps and closes basically just about like it was right there. So we'll make sure that that's pretty much as it is. Now from here, we can stretch it back, getting it up to this tape right here. And what we're going to do is roll it down a little bit so we can get it past that tape. And this is a little bit of a tricky part, but the end result is going to be worth it. So here we go. We want to get this rolled to where the roll is here is about 1.5 centimeters or so. It's about, what is that going to be? About a little over 1/2 inch, say 3/4 inch. Okay, we want to get this rolled down. Now, see how I've started to fold it around on the edges here? Give you guys some more brightness. Okay, see how we folded it on the edges here? Now we're going to fold it down a little bit more. There we go. About 3/4 inch is what I said. And what we're going to do is, we're going to take this and put it all the way to the top And we're going to get it right flush with the top right now, okay? You got to work it. Work it. Come back from the top here. Work it down a little bit. Okay? Work it down. So you got all that slack out of there. Now, piece by piece, take it and just pull it and pull up until this is flush with the top here. Okay? Until it's flush with the top right here. You're going to kind of put your hand under there and roll it up until you can roll it up and over. Okay? You're going to roll it up and over. Just like this. Pull it up. And yank on it really good right there. Come around. Up and over. There you go. And there we go. Now it's good. See? Now you can see here, we got about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch overlap right there. Now, what I would recommend that you do when you do this, if you see some stragglers here, like this, just go ahead and take a lighter or something and burn them off. I don't think I have a lighter here. Do I have one available right here real quick? I don't think I have a working one. So in that case, I don't think there's enough in here to do anything. So, but what I would do is I would just go and burn those off. For my purposes right now, I'm just going to cut off the biggest ones. Not that this is going to be a big deal, but if you can cauterize the edges, it's better so that it won't break off, okay? So, having done that, right, now you can do one of two ways here. You can take the double-faced tape, run it around the inside edges, which is what I'm going to do for expediency here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to run it right inside the edges here. Just like this, instead of gluing it. And I'm just going to overlap the tape here several different times so that so it's easier for me to get it in. So basically it looks like this if I do the double-faced tape inside of it. And I just bend it like this and make a little loop. And then I just stick it in the corner. And then just let it go and seat where it wants to seat there. So that's how that looks right there. And now we'll take it off, and then we'll have a full round inside piece for the double-sided tape. And there we go. So now that part's done, you're simply going to take and fold this all over. Just fold it in, start around the corners, and just fold it in. Get it nice and snug in there. And then it'll look like this. Now it looks like that, and we're almost done. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is insert the bottom. Okay, so you're going to insert the bottom here. insert the bottom, get it nice and snug in there. Now you want to make sure when you do this that you make sure it sits level. So you want to kind of sit it up here and make sure it stands up. Okay? Right about there. So now this came inside, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cue and I'm going to push this out a little bit. I'm going to push it out just a little bit so that I can manipulate it. Because ideally what I want is I want this to sit a little bit as flush as possible to this piece and sit nicely. Alright, so unfortunately the weight on here is causing it to go in. So what I'm going to do is pull this out a little bit. And then we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to eyeball it and nail it. So normally I want mine to fit more flush than that, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball it. I'm going to do this one based on experience. Alright, so here we go. Now it's good if you have something else that you can put on here to put underneath of it to support it a little bit while you're doing this. So for this purpose I'm just using an extra, you could use a block of wood or something like that. And now we're going to go ahead and make our nails. Alright, same way we did before. Now you could use a little drill if you wanted to. But this is going to help us to get established with the nail. Keep in mind where you put it. Sometimes it's hard to see. Okay, now you don't want to have, you can just hammer in small bits here to get this to go in. And there we go, nice and solid. Very nice. Alright, remember to do your starter holes over here. Now what I like to do on this is I like to go across here to the other side. And now that I've got a nail in, I can kind of feel it and see if I like it right there. So see how it's holding up? Okay. Pull that out just a little bit. I think we're good there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this nail in. Now I also like to use a little tiny drill bit to do this as well. But you can do whatever you like. There we go. Now we got the front and back piece in. Let's take a look. How do we do? Off balance. There we go. Good. All right. So, side to side. Now I recommend also that you use you can use a drill bit as well, so you don't take a chance of breaking the tube. But in general, you're going to be okay. So I've got 4 good solid nails in here right now, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the rest of the build without the other nails. Now I would recommend using a little drill bit instead of doing the nails like I did right there, because you know the drill bit is going to be the best way to go. Just a very small drill bit, very easy. You can even use a needle if you want, because that's going to make a hole in the plastic without any chance of cracking the plastic. Okay. But I've got actually 4 more nails to put in here, and those nails would end up here. The nails would be here, 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 and here, okay, on those 4 spots. But let's take a look and see how the case works now with the JB interior inside, okay? So, putting in the cues, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 shafts, 3 shafts. By the way, we're going to give you an extra shaft capacity in here, I believe. Let's see if it works. Okay, so we'll do 1 more shaft. And there we go, 1 more shaft. Now, this is what it looks like. You guys see that? That's what it now looks like inside this case. That's the effect right there. So you want to pull your cue out, no problem. Cue in, no problem. And this is what it sounds like. See the difference? That's what that sounds like. Now you can still use it the exact same way. You go down, you have your little magnetic latch right there, and there you go. Now, even when I go like this, and I get those cues maybe all the way to the top, listen. That's what it sounds like. So, there you go. Now you know how to change the interior of a 3 seconds case with that. So what did it take me here? About a half an hour? I mean, I was putzing around doing other stuff. I would say I would easily have this done in less than 30 minutes, which means if you want me to do it for you, I'll charge 50 bucks plus the interior. But if you want to do it yourself, you've got the simple tools, you know what to do. Also, when we sell it to you, we'll sell you a little bit of a kit so that it's a few of the steps that I did you won't have to do. And there you go. So thank y'all for your time. And now you know how to take a 3 seconds and put a JB case interior in it, and you can have the best of both worlds. You can have the 3 second styling on the outside and the JB case interior on the inside. Thank y'all very much, and have a good day. Bye-bye.